let's
I'm
cheers.
excited about this. Cheers.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay.
This is very like full.
It's got like an ice feeling to it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's funny because it's like so for me almost maybe I'm like tasting things, but I almost feel like it's like smoky ice to me.
Okay.
That's just how I feel. Maybe
sure.
So Austin said okay, which means he disagrees with me, but that's a polite way to say I disagree with you in American English. Okay. Yeah.
It's true. There's your English tip for the day.
No, but I get it because it's like, dude, I'm not gonna pour more for you. I'm gonna pour more for me right now.
That's fair.
Because like, it's got this really nice, and it's not because it's actually cool. It's like the sensation. For me, it almost reminds me of like after you touch ice and then you feel your skin getting warmer again.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. I like this though.
Man, I have to say, we have gotten some really good sake lately from our AA friends.
Yeah.
Man, you guys are good.
Yeah. So Mika, this was wonderful. I'm sure it was super expensive, so you don't have to send another one, but we will treasure this. I'm gonna remember this one, especially just for the packaging.
I mean, the presentation's really nice, but like honestly, this flavor, one of the things that I love about sake is it's always subtle, but there's such unique flavors with sake, and I love that so much. And this one just has another unique flavor.
Yeah, I feel like I want to drink this on a summer day because it's like it's got that nice kind of chilly. Yeah,
like where it's like really humid.
Yes,
and you're like outside, and you're just
maybe that's why I thought it felt kind of smoky because it's got like this drying feel to it.
A little bit.
It's got like okay.
Yeah. I can get that.
But yeah, so today, what are we talking about?
Bullying,
not bulls, but bullying.
Bullying.
So specifically bullying between Japan versus the United States.
Yeah.
So the differences, and I'm going to be straight out, Janakte. I'm going to be straight up. I've never really attended a Japanese school before, so I have no clue what bullying is like here.
Yeah.
But I know from rumors that Japanese school bullying is legendary.
Yeah.
But I have no idea how.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
It's kind of evolved with social media nowadays. I think a lot of bullying takes place outside of the classroom nowadays.
Yeah. Well, in America too, cyberbullying too, you know?
Yeah. So, I have so many examples over the years as a teacher of like experiencing bullying in the classroom.
Yeah.
And like, one example is like back when I was working at girls' school, we had junior high girls literally post a like cuteness ranking.
Oh yeah.
Like, so basically they posted on the school's account a list of like all the girls in the class. So they
hacked into like the school account?
Something like that. Or maybe they just knew. Yeah. Well, I guess that would be hacking too. But yeah, so they posted publicly on the school's account, like the school roster for their class. But instead of just being a normal roster, was a ranking of like attractiveness.
Was this when it was still a girls' school?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And so, yeah, it was like literally like who the perceived best looking girl is.
Yeah.
And all the way down to like the least.
Yeah, I feel like that's also pretty common in America now because, every once in a while you hear stories about how someone has, for lack of a better word, ended themselves.
Yeah.
Because of bullying that happened online or something like that.
Yeah. I think, like one of the things that I think is like a big difference between Japan and America in terms of bullying is I think the bullying here in Japan is so much more deep.
Yeah.
I think that's how I would put it. Whereas I think the bullying in America is a lot more surface level.
Okay. Like what do you mean by that?
So what do I mean by that? Like in America, you will be bullied for just being different or not being able to make friends.
Yeah.
Right? But Japan, I think, can get so much more deep from that because like a lot of the kids here will end up bullying other kids for economic status. They'll bully them for like name.
Yeah, you never really hear about, like, in the States about kids bullying other kids for being poor or something like that.
Yeah, or like another really common thing is like test scores.
Okay.
That's like a really common thing that kids will get bullied for. It's like, oh, you suck at this subject.
Really?
And they'll just relentlessly rip into a kid about that.
Yeah.
You know?
Wow.
And it's like in America, it's like no one really cares about grades.
Yeah.
So it's like, in fact, you could get bullied in America for having good grades.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Right?
You could be bullied for being the teacher's pet.
Yeah.
Like you're the one that the teacher likes the most, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, it's funny because when I when I moved to the United States, I moved to the United States when I was 7, almost 8. And I went to 4 schools in 4 years. Yeah. Because a lot of it had to do with bullying, actually. So I got bullied a lot.
Yeah, talk to me about that. I mean, if you're okay with it. I'm going to be honest with you. I've never been bullied. Yeah. I was in fact a bully when I was in elementary school.
You know, actually, so when I lived in Germany, so this, not to throw a pity party for myself.
Sure.
But basically up until the time I was 14, I never really had a supportive peer relationship.
Okay.
I would say, so I did have some friends that, like, my mom would set up play dates, like, let's play together, but I never really considered them my friends. Okay. Like, I remember my mom said, oh yeah, you know, up the street when you lived in Germany, there was this American kid named Joey, you know? And I remember Joey, but the only thing I remember about Joey is when I said, hey man, look at this Power Rangers thing. This is so cool. And he's like, Power Rangers? That sucks. And like that's all I remember from him.
Sucks.
I know, right? Power Rangers is really cool.
Power Rangers are cool, man.
I know. But yeah, so that happened. And then when I moved, so I went to kindergarten in Germany, and I was bullied for being the foreigner. Yeah. And the only person who was really my friend was this Korean kid, actually.
Okay.
He couldn't speak. Maybe that's why I got interested in, like, Asia stuff. Who knows?
Yeah.
But when I moved to America, I became the German kid. And, like, people are like, oh, are you a Nazi? Yeah. Do you hate Jews? Which is funny. It's wild because here's 7-year-olds who are like, hey, let me talk to you about World War II.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, well, is Germany a free country? I was like, I remember when I first came to the States and, like, we were doing Pledge of Allegiance. Yeah. I was like, holy crap, did I step into a cult or something? But what was weird was because, like, I looked like everyone else and I spoke American English, but I was culturally very different. So I actually got bullied a lot for people being like, hey, you don't know who this band is? What are you, stupid? You know? Yeah. But yeah, so because I was different.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like for American bullying, like, that really is the thing. It's like you are different from the norm.
Yeah.
And that's literally all it is. And you'll get bullied for just not liking the same thing.
Yeah.
Like,
although I do feel, though, that in America, bullying kind of chills out in high school, depending on who you are. But
yeah, I would say so. I mean, I think if you went back in time, it's like there's always, like, the 50 memes jock versus the nerd, like where he's, like, driving around in like a open top car, and you know, like, throwing the football at the nerd, and it's like, you suck, like that kind of thing. But I don't think that exists anymore.
No, that's like that's something that exists in, like, the world of movies, like Mean Girls or whatever.
Yeah,
I feel like
Mean Girls. Yeah,
I feel like, you know, the worst bullying that I experienced was when I was in middle school and elementary school. And then when I got to high school, what happens in high school is everybody finds their own clique. Yeah. And you just kind of stay with your own group. Yeah. So I was part of the weird group, but it wasn't like the jocks were like making fun of me. I was just, like, in my own group and they were in their own group. We were, like, in 2 different worlds.
Yeah, I really think that that's the case. Like, I'm not saying this to brag because I don't think it's something worth bragging. I was a jock, but when I was in elementary school, I was a bully. Yeah, right. Me and my group of friends would pick on this kid, like, almost every day. Yeah. His name was Joseph, and really the reason why we bullied him is he came from, like, Texas or something. Mm-hmm. And he was, like, really into country stuff. Yeah. And so he would show up, like, this was in, like, 3rd grade.
So how old were you in 3rd grade? 7.
Something 8, like that, right? 7 or 8. And he would show up with cowboy boots and a hat on. And it's like, this guy looked like a freak in our class because it's like all the other kids are dressing normal. And this guy's got this big 10-gallon hat on and, like, literally boots with spurs on them.
Yeah.
Right? he dressed up like a cowboy and was like really into that, right? And we all just relentlessly made fun of him. And it's like, I look back on it now and it's kind of disgusting. I'm like, oh man, I wish I didn't do that.
Why would you do that?
Because there's just no sense to it. Like there's no reason to do that.
It's just othering someone else.
But yeah, you know, it really is that.
But here, I just got to say this because it was so funny because not funny, but I can't believe you just said that because so when I was in high school, I would go on this volunteer trip to Romania through some international schools in Western Europe and in Germany. The reason why is because my dad, when we lived in Germany, he was friends with the founder of that volunteer group. So we would go back. But like, I remember I met this girl, I forget her name now, but I met this girl who was American going to an international school in Dusseldorf, Germany. And she told me, she's originally from Texas, but she went to school in California and she showed up in a cowboy hat and boots and she got not literally beat up, but she got like the shit kicked out of her verbally and she changed really quickly.
Yeah. And I think it's because the weird thing is like cowboy culture is California.
Yeah. Okay.
That's the thing that's like, it doesn't make any sense. Like West Coast is cowboy culture. So
I feel like California evolved beyond cowboy culture, but in Texas, they kind of stayed.
But it's just like, it's so ridiculous that like, that's the bullying point.
Yeah.
And that's what I was saying earlier when I think that American bullying is very surface level.
Yeah.
Like you're different from me. I'm going to relentlessly mock you.
Yeah.
Right.
But it peters out like, in high school, but I feel like in high school it's pretty bad.
Here in Japan, just based off of my experience as like a junior high and high school teacher, I will say I think the main difference is I think in Japan, bullying is done like from a difference in status.
Okay.
I think that's the main thing.
Yeah.
That's right. So like the person bullying is usually bullying someone because at least they perceive themselves to be in a higher position than the other person. So it's like if you're to visualize this, like American bullying, it's like you have this circle. Yeah. It's like the community.
Yeah.
And you have like the outsider.
Yeah.
And the bullying is done this way.
Yeah.
Right. Whereas in Japan, I feel like you have the person who's above and the person who they think is below. And so they bully down.
Yeah.
That's how it feels.
So it's more like because you're bullying because you're part of the in-group.
Yeah.
Whereas I feel like in America, you bully because you're stronger, you feel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's like stronger and you think the other person is like different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so one of our Austin and Arthur Friends members, you know, we put a survey on our YouTube channel, but then also on our Friends members. And one of our Friends members, she asked if there's bullying that happens in companies in the United States too.
Yeah. How do you feel about this?
So I would say I would say that there's not bullying to the same way that it is in Japan, because I really feel like Japanese work culture, it's changing now, but traditionally Japanese work culture is an extension of college, which is an extension of high school.
100%, man.
Yeah,
working here at a Japanese company feels like high school.
Yeah, but like, in America, it's a lot more individualistic. There's no set time when everyone gets into the company. Yeah. You kind of come in through interviews anytime. Yeah. And so what I would say is American work culture can kind of be similar to bullying in that it's more cutthroat. So you will have people who try to sabotage other people so that they can get ahead.
That's true.
But it's not necessarily bullying because they're different. It's because I want to get ahead of you. Let me trip you.
I think bullying is a very big thing in American culture. Yeah. And I think once I say it once I phrase it like this, you're going to completely agree. Okay. I think bullying takes the form of HR and policing people.
Why? I still don't catch that, man.
So in America, one of the things that's like really trendy right now, and it's been trendy for probably the past 10 years, is canceling people and tone policing.
Okay, tone policing, yeah, for sure. Yeah.
And one of the things is in America, if you're working at a company and you don't agree with like the group think that's going on inside the company, if you don't agree with those opinions, you will be ostracized and possibly even lose your job because of that.
Yeah. So the reason why, so I can see what you're doing.
Yeah.
But so if we were to put that into the school situation, the way that I would see it is that the bullies, or who you're thinking are the bullies, the people who are kind of in charge of the culture, would then complain to the teachers or to the admin, and then the admin would talk to the student and give them a warning. Otherwise, they're going to be expelled from the school, which I wouldn't necessarily say that's bullying. I would say that's like sabotaging, because the way that I see bullying is it's something where you yourself push someone else around to influence their behavior, to basically belittle them or to make them act in a way that you want.
Okay.
And it's you overwhelming them yourself.
Okay, that's fair.
Whereas like, I would just say you're pulling the strings so that like the ceiling falls down on them. So it's not you that's doing that crushes them. It's like the system.
Yeah. So like if you're to like look at a Japanese company, I'll tell you kind of like what the stereotype bullying you could see here, because I've experienced this here in Japan. I'm not going to say where, but I've experienced this, is very traditional power harassment. Yeah, that kind of falls into the concept of bullying, right? Where it's like, I'm going to belittle you because I can. Yeah, and because I have the power to do so. Yeah, right. And I think that maybe fits into your description of bullying. Yeah, so I would say, so if the teacher is bullying the student, that's a form of pawahara. That's a form of power harassment, you know? But I wouldn't say like HR. You think it's like we're peers? Is that where you're coming from? Yeah, exactly. I feel like peers bully. Yeah. Whereas like people above harass or like cancel or whatever you want to call that, you know? Hey guys, if you've watched this far, you're going to love our Austin and Arthur friends. In the Austin and Arthur Friends, you're going to really improve your English listening, and I mean a lot. Yeah. So for each episode, you'll get English and Japanese subtitles, so you can check your listening and comprehension. You'll also get access to a members-only community where you can talk with us, the both of us. Mainly me, right? No, definitely not. For more info, click on the link here or here or here, or in the description box of this video. Thanks for being our friend. Woo! I have no friends. Sure. But I would say, you know, there are definitely cases where maybe individual HR managers would pick on someone from their own stuff. So I feel like if it's like an HR manager can say, I don't like this person, let me cancel this person, you know? Yeah. That could be a form of bullying, I think. But what I see happen a lot is, and especially a lot of men, what they're afraid of in the American workforce now is they're afraid of women complaining to HR. Yeah. So like even if you go up to a woman and you say hi, and they don't like you, or they feel like you're being too friendly, they can report you to HR, and then they're like, oh no. So I feel like that's the pressure that a lot of people feel. It's not necessarily the peer relationships, but it's the peer relationship in light of this like axe hanging above their heads. Yeah. I mean, there's so much. I mean, I think there's so much identity politics that go on with American companies that you don't really see in Japanese like companies. Not yet. Oh, yeah, I hope not. Well, I gotta tell you, man, just the other day, this is a few months ago, I was in the mall with my kids and they were handing out workbooks for kids to work on. And it was just a blank notebook, but on the cover it said DEI on it. Yeah. I was like, oh, it begins. God, man, I feel bad about this because I shouldn't feel this way, but I do. Yeah. Is my brain just shuts off whenever I'm in a work setting and some higher up is talking about diversity. Yeah. Because it's just like, every single time diversity gets mentioned in a business setting, they don't really care about diversity. Yeah. But they're using it as like an advertising platform or a way to shove their agenda into the situation. Yeah. Right? It never really matters having a diverse environment. Yeah. That doesn't matter. It's all about pushing a narrative for them. Right? And God, man, I hate corpo speak.
Yeah, well, I mean that's
Like,
starting to change in the United States a little bit, but you know, I just so I got to tell you just about this whole thing about it, because in America a lot of like if you call it bullying, it happens from HR and stuff. But so when I was young and I lived in Germany, I went to an international school and I had friends from all over the world.
Okay,
and I remember my mom like came to class one day and I was trying to tell her that my friend is in the corner.
Yeah.
And she didn't know who it was. And so I started describing the kid by his posture and the clothes he was wearing. And he ended up it turns out he was African, right? And so like I grew up in a situation where like people from all over the world is something normal. You don't really see people from their nationality or the way that they look. It's about their personality or about their style. And I remember coming to America and seeing that everything started to become about race.
Yeah.
And it was so weird because it's like, I didn't see that before, you know? And then it just kind of gets pushed on. And what kind of like grinds my gears about it is like, you have to keep a quota, so you're flattening a person to just this one feature about them, whether it's like their gender or their race or something, when people are so much more than that, you know?
Yeah.
So I don't know. Just, I mean, never settled with me.
This is getting a little bit off topic, but like, I've never had a problem with like identifying people by their skin color.
Yeah.
Because like the way I think, and I know that might come off as like a really offensive statement, but the way I see it is, at least how I would identify somebody is, I'm not trying to say it in a derogatory sense where it's like that black kid, that white kid, that Asian kid, right? I'm trying to relay information of who I'm trying to get somebody to draw attention to, right? If I was in that situation that you were with your mom, like I don't see a reason that saying like that black kid over there is my friend, right? You're trying to narrow down and specify a specific person. Yeah. Obviously there people are a lot more than just their skin color, but this is like I don't see that as like a negative thing to identify somebody.
Yeah, no, I get it, but I guess what I mean is just in like HR, you know, in America, human resources, they have like these quotas of like X amount of black people, X amount of Latinos, X amount of women, X amount of men. And it's like just a tallying thing, you know?
It's a really big problem. Recently, I think last year, there was a senior executive at Disney. Are you familiar with this?
No.
Okay. Yeah. So there was a senior executive at Disney who went on a date with an undercover reporter.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah.
Do you know about this?
We don't hire white men.
Yeah. So basically, this lady was trying to like understand like the hiring practices at Disney, right? Yeah. And she did some manipulative stuff, which I don't agree with. Yeah. Like I think that's going over the line when you set up a date and this guy is going on a date and
he thinks it's a date.
He's drunk too. Like they went to a bar and it's like, what person isn't going to be vulnerable in that situation? Just kind of spill stuff that they shouldn't be talking about. Of course, I'm going to do that. Anybody would do that in that situation. So I think it's a little bit rude that she did that. But anyways, she's an undercover reporter. She went on a date with him. And basically, he spilled these hiring practices that they specifically will not hire white men. Yeah. And he was a white man, and he was like, I'm actually worried about my job now because I know this company is actively seeking to replace me. And so I think bullying in the traditional sense, like it starts off as being different. Yeah. But I think in America, it evolves into this form of, I guess it would fall under harassment, but it evolves into this form of you need to conform with the groupthink of the company. And if you don't fit that, you're gone.
So that hasn't changed too much. It's just, I guess instead of being an individual within the system, it's the system that's doing that.
Yeah,
know?
Exactly.
But, you know, so you were talking about in school in Japan, bullying happens, a lot of it happens outside of the classroom with like cyberbullying and stuff like that. And I feel like, you know, that's happening a lot in the United States too, where there are cases where like a group of, and to be honest, a lot of times it's women that do this, or a lot of girls.
Yeah.
They'll like target someone, they'll make fake accounts, and then they'll leave horrible messages on that person's social media accounts. You know? It's cyberbullying, right?
Yeah.
And what's interesting though is that in the United States, there have been cases where if that leads to the person self-ending themselves, those people are liable for that. Like they can go to court. And they should be, right?
Yeah.
And so like in America, people are taking steps by bringing it to the court of law to like, actually, hey, you know, if this person dies, it's your fault, you know?
Yeah. One of the things I will say, like going back into like the classroom in a school setting is I think bullying is a lot more tolerated here in Japan.
Yeah.
Like, and I think that comes with the fact that Americans are very outspoken.
Yeah.
So, a lot of cases, if a kid is bullied in America, they will tell somebody about this. They'll tell their parents, they'll tell their school, they'll alert an authority. But not just that. I think a lot of people, like in class, if they're another student, if they see bullying, they'll tell somebody about it.
Yeah.
People are very vocal about telling someone about problems in America.
Yeah.
Whereas one of the things that I notice here in Japan, and I've noticed this in my classrooms, is nobody says anything.
Yeah.
Like, you know, if a bullying situation happens in school, what should happen is the teacher gets notified. The teacher calls the parents of the person who is bullied first, discuss it with them. If the parents are okay with it, they call the bully's parents and they arrange a meeting for both parents to come in and talk about it.
Yeah, right.
Right. And that's to kind of like shame the bully. It's like, look, there's your parents and there's that kid's parents. There's a lot of adults looking at you now.
Yeah.
Time to stop acting like a little shit.
Yeah, right.
Right? That's the idea.
Yeah.
But that doesn't happen most of the time.
Yeah.
Here's what actually happens in a lot of the time in a school. Yes, in a school setting. The kid will get bullied and they don't say anything.
Yeah.
Or the kid will get bullied. They'll relay it to the teacher or the teacher will notice and then nothing happens.
Yeah.
Right? It'll get relayed from the teacher to the family, and maybe the family doesn't like put a lot of effort into trying to do something. Like there's so many times that for whatever reason, I don't understand why, but it just breaks down.
Yeah. Here
in Japan, and you see a kid just continuously get bullied.
Well, you know, you have more and more kids just not going to school. You know,
yes, that's a huge problem.
Yeah. And it's funny because in America, like, it's unheard of.
Yeah,
it's unheard of. I was going to say it's unheard of.
Yeah,
you know?
I thought it was ridiculous when I came over here because I cannot express how common it is to see kids get bullied and stop coming to school.
Yeah.
I would say, especially in junior high, like the starting Chuichi class, like the junior high school 1 class, let's say, for example, they start with 25 kids.
Yeah.
Right? During that year and the year leading up in the next 3 years of them in junior high, I would say at least 5 to 6 of those kids will stop coming to school because of like some kind of bullying or school issue.
Hey, you know, it's funny because in America, if that happens, the parents will say, hey, you need to solve this problem on your own.
Yeah.
Go back to school.
Yep.
Whereas in Japan, it's like, oh,
yeah,
you don't need to go to school. It's okay.
Yeah.
I don't know what to do. I can't force my kid to go to school. And this kind of goes back to like,
insane.
I know, and this goes back to like what we were talking about with parenting, how like, you know, we feel like in Japan, a lot of parents are like too easy on their kids with like too accepting, too gentle. Whereas in America, maybe they can be too strict with their kids. Like I remember one of the comments on that video, they said, yeah, well, you know, in America, a lot of kids have anxiety disorders now. So like maybe that's part of the parenting.
Yeah.
And that could be part of it. But like, you know, I just see this every day where it's like, I want my kid to become strong and resilient. So I want to hold them to a higher standard. And so I'm going to keep this rigid thing. Yeah. Whereas like my wife, on the other hand, is like, oh, let's be kind, let's be gentle. If they don't want to do this, that's okay. We'll just do this. You know? And I can see both sides of it, you know. But like, this is a good example where you see those parenting styles play out. Yeah, you know.
Yeah,
but
it's just like it frustrates me because I think that I have such a complicated opinion on this because I think my opinion on bullying here in Japan, it's kind of victim blaming.
Yeah.
And a lot of things that I have to say about it, because I think people, I really think that a lot of students make themselves really vulnerable here.
Yeah.
And they allow themselves to get bullied and they don't do anything about it.
Yeah.
Right. And it kind of goes to a further extent with harassment here in Japan in general. When people become adults, they get harassed all the time. And it's like, you know, you see power harassment, you see sexual harassment, such a big thing in Japan. And the main reason is because people don't do anything about it.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Right. And not just the victims, but also like people witnessing it, right? They don't do anything about it.
Yeah.
And it really frustrates me because it's like, God damn it. Like if you guys just did something about this issue wouldn't be as big.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And so in that sense, I get really frustrated and I do victim blame a little bit because it's like, dude, come on. Can you guys just, can you not be so vulnerable? But at the same time, it's like another issue is I just don't think that, a lot of people are being given a support structure for it.
Yeah.
Right. I think a lot of people don't do stuff because they don't really feel like it'll help.
Yeah.
Right. Like I'll give you a classical example, and this is more on the harassment side than the bullying side. But like I said, I kind of look at them as the same thing because I feel like bullying evolves into harassment. Right. You know, you have a lot of sexual harassment cases with women on the train. Right. That's a really big thing in Japan, like Sekuhara, like Chikan, right?
Yeah.
And, you know, a lot of women have been interviewed about this topic of like, you know, why don't you talk to the authorities about this? And you know what a lot of women say?
What?
Well, nothing will happen.
Yeah.
Right. If I tell the police this, what are they going to do?
Yeah. Because it breaks down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And to be fair, that's true.
Yeah.
Like what is the police going to do?
Yeah.
Right. And so I feel like there needs to be a little bit of give and take here with like here in Japan with people need to probably take a little bit more accountability and look at the situations where they're experiencing bullying and harassment and go, what can I do to stop this?
Yeah.
What can I do to take charge of the situation and stop this?
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, but here's the thing, right? So not here's the thing, because I agree with you totally. Like, you know, Japanese society is basically based on the phrase of like, don't cause ripples.
Yeah.
Like, let's just keep the peace. And that's why a lot of police won't do anything because it's like, oh, you know, it's going to cause a problem. It's going to cause a fuss.
Yeah.
Even though you got molested. It's just going to cause a fuss. Let's not do, let's keep the peace. And so like a lot of the benefits that we enjoy from Japan about how convenient, how smooth everything is, I feel like that's built on like a base of all of this stuff that's being smothered and being hidden in the shadows, you know?
Yeah.
And so like, whereas in America, a lot of that stuff comes to light, but it's a lot more unstable and it causes a lot of problems, right?
It does
so it's
cause
like,
a lot of problems.
So like, how can you meld those two ways of thinking together?
Yeah. I mean, it's hard, right? Yeah. I think there needs to be a little bit of both. I think people need to be more accountable, but I also think that, you know, you need to make those people empowered to want to be accountable, right? You like, here in Japan, there needs to be more support for these people that are experiencing bullying and harassment. There needs to be more support in schools. There needs to be much, much more severe tone from teachers if they experience bullying. Because I'll tell you one thing. I don't know how bullying is in the US right now. Neither of us do. We've been out of school for almost 20 years at this point, right? But I remember back in the day, I got caught for bullying when I was in, well, this wasn't so much bullying. I just really hated this kid because my girlfriend liked him when I was in 4th grade. But I beat this kid up because the girl that I liked in class liked him. Yeah. Right? I was not a very good kid when I was in elementary. Yeah. I'll just be honest. Yeah. But I beat this kid up and I got in trouble.
Really?
I got an in-school suspension for it. It was like this whole big deal. Like my parents got notified and like there was a big deal about it. And I think in the US, that's kind of the case where it's like, if bullying is brought to attention, people find out about it, you will get the book thrown at you.
Right. Yeah.
Right. And I don't feel that's the case here in Japan where it's like, you know, there you experience bullying and it's like, there's like a stern talking and that's it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
it's like,
I feel like we need to talk about the police system here a little bit. That'll be a different topic, but that ties into this.
Yeah. Oh, dude, don't even get me started with the police system. Like, you know, going back to like the sexual harassment thing, there's so many situations of like someone reporting and getting caught for sexual harassment and just paying like a fine.
Yeah.
It's
if they pay a fine.
All right, pay $1,000.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, are you kidding me?
Yeah, right.
What?
Yeah. But like I said, that could be another thing we talk about.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, we I feel like we could talk about this a lot more, but we need to save this for another time.
Yeah.
But man, it was really good hearing you talk about all this. Like
really
like it's not the sake talking. Like I just feel like, oh, Austin, you used to be such a shit face, but now you're such a good person now. You know, like that's how I feel. But
I'm not a good person.
Yeah. But we can talk about the next time. So so if any of you guys have any questions about what's going on, or if you guys also felt moved, like Austin の発言に感動した方がいらっしゃいましたら、
Dude, you're pumping me up too much.
Dude, it was wonderful. I was sitting back like, that was so good.
Really?
But we'll talk
right.
next time.
See ya.